I hope you're having a wonderful day. I desperately need coffee this morning. And today is day 14. So let's see what's in store for us from the Nespresso Advent Calendar. So, Lalo, I don't know if that's how you say that. I've never tried this one before, but it is a 7.7 ounce pod, so it is, you know, like an 8 ounce cup of coffee, so I'm excited about this, to give this one a try, and I'm gonna go ahead and brew this up. So I'm trying this coffee, this Solelo or whatever it is. It's really good, you guys. It's like a lighter roast. It's kind of bright tasting almost. I used my vanilla creamer with it, the vanilla bean one, and it's really delicious. So this is one of my new favorites, I think. I'm loving the fact that I'm able to try so many new pods. The trick with advent calendars I've figured out is that you need to not be super familiar with all of the different flavors and varieties. Like with my David's Tea Advent Calendar, I'm very familiar with all the teas. It's not as much fun and it's not as exciting every morning to open up that Advent Calendar. So I'm definitely not going to do that one again next year. But with Nespresso, I've only tried like a handful of the flavors, and I only have a couple of favorites. So most of the pods that I am getting in the advent calendar I haven't tried before, and it's so much fun to find my new favorites, and this is definitely one of them. If you're into like deep dark roast coffee, you're not gonna like this, but it's quite nice. I like it. Okay, well, I am sitting down to work on some planning, some goal setting for 2023, working in my planner a little bit. I'm going to do a to-do list for today. I feel like I haven't really sat down and focused on this sort of thing in quite a while, so I'm going to spend some time this morning at doing that. I've got Kayla up on my screen. I'm going to have that playing in the background. I love BookTube, especially Books and Lala. She's like one of my favorite book content creators. So I'm going to listen to her video while I work on this for a little while. I'm still waiting on my 2023 planner to come in the mail. I decided just to go with one simple planner this year in addition to like my budget planner. Last year I had a whole huge stack of planners that I planned to use and pretty much failed on all accounts with that. I had my goal planner that I was so excited about trying in 2022, but of course, between the illness I've been dealing with all year and just life, I really neglected this and did not put much thought into this for like 3/4 of the year. It's just blank, which is such a waste and such a shame, but I'm going to go through my 2022 goals, the planning that I did do, and see you know, how I fared this year. I really did work diligently on my goals for some of the year, so I'm anxious to see if I completed any of my goals or if I made progress towards them. And then I'm going to set my 2023 goals, which I'm not doing anything nearly as fancy or elaborate as this whole big goal planner, because clearly I don't use them, so I should stop spending money on them, right? But I am going to work a little bit in figuring out what my goals for 2023 are, and I'm going to do some YouTube planning for 2023. I got to kind of figure out what my filming schedule is going to be. For most of this year, I feel like I did not post much compared to previous years where, you know, I was posting 5 to 7 days a week, and then this last year it's been like 2 to 3 times a week, if that. There's been long stretches of time where I wasn't posting at all. My views have definitely suffered because of that. You know, I haven't grown as much with my channel this year as I would have liked, but, you know, it's understandable, of course. It's to be expected. So I really have to kind of set up a game plan for the new year. We do have some things up in the air. I'm not really even sure what 2023 is going to look like. between some, you know, changes we're going to be making, my health, and I feel kind of out of control. So I thought that it would be best to sit down and just like do a brain dump, do some journaling. Also want to do some research with my diet for 2023. I feel like I should have you guys looking at me. Hold on, let me turn this camera around. Hi. Okay, so as I was saying, I really need to do some research into my diet for 2023. I am going to be counting calories. I talked about this yesterday in my vlog. I've gotten some feedback on that vlog, and a couple of you have said, yes, you want to see my weight loss journey. So I figured we'll talk it out right here, right now. Don't mind the mess in the background. Yes, I want to be counting calories. Yes, I want to focus on weight loss, but another big focus for me is going to be an anti-inflammatory diet. I got a comment on that vlog from yesterday saying I need to be focused on that, and that's absolutely true. Sarcoidosis, which I was recently diagnosed with, if you missed that news, if you're new here, is an inflammatory disease. So I really need to focus on keeping my diet, you know, a little bit cleaner, less processed foods. Obviously, if you've been around here for a while, you know that in addition to this illness that I've just been diagnosed with, I also have chronic pain from my back. So I find a lot of excuses not to do cooking and long periods of like standing because it hurts my back, you know, understandably so. But in order to help alleviate that pain, a lot of times I'm ordering fast food, DoorDash, you know, going out to eat, or taking help from the grocery store and doing a lot of processed foods, which is great with my back pain, but not so great for the inflammation. So I really need to find a balance between cooking healthy meals and not standing in the kitchen for 8 hours, right? So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to make it work. I always do. Obviously, I have a lot of help around here. My guys, my husband and my 2 sons are very involved in helping with the cooking and the cleaning. I'm very, very blessed in that aspect. So I have to, you know, take the help where I can because I'm not well all the time. But they're super, super supportive. So I know that whatever I have to do, they're going to help me do it. So I just got to kind of figure out, you know, I don't know much in terms of like anti-inflammatory things. I need to do some research, good old Google. I'm going to have some books that I want to read. So definitely have a lot of work to do in that area. But obviously it's very, very important for my health, so it's something I need to take seriously. So that's what I'm going to do for the next few hours. I'm going to work on my goals, update my budget. I need to film a budget video. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Thursday, but it's not. It's only Wednesday, so that's good at least. Yeah, I just need to get all of my thoughts that are in my head down on paper. I think I'll feel a lot better once I do. So that's what I'm going to do for the next couple hours. I'm also going to answer the Christmas cards that I've received so far. I feel like I'm very behind in that aspect. I haven't sent any Christmas cards yet, but I've only received a handful. So I don't feel too overwhelmed with that. Of course, I haven't been to my P.O. box in the last few days, so for all I know, there's 100 cards in there. But for now, I don't feel too overwhelmed and too far behind. So I'm going to work on all of that, and I'll check in with you guys in a bit. So I'm looking at my goals from last year, and I feel like it was pretty much a fail, like in all aspects. Well, not entirely. I definitely made some strides in some of these areas. I feel like in terms of my budget, for example, I'm on top of that. Yes, we have debt. Yes, we still have a long way to go before I would consider our like budget journey complete, but budgeting has been something that is so like ingrained in my routine now. Like, yes, sometimes I get behind, but it's a pretty regular thing in my life. Like, I can't imagine going without my budget. We definitely save more in terms of like sinking funds and stuff than we ever have. And we just think about money differently than we ever have. So I feel like I made some good strides in the budgeting aspect, and I feel like I've been on a general like upswing with how well I maintain and manage that. In terms of live a healthy lifestyle, obviously that's something that needs to continue into 2023. It's even more important now. My health is even worse now than it was at the start of the year, when it was already something I was worried about and something I was trying to work on. So that's something that needs to be the forefront in, 2023. I think my word for the year for 2023 is going to be heal. But I still need to think on that some more. Leave me some comments down below what you think would be a good word of the year for me, and share your word of the year as well. Have and maintain a clean, clutter-free home that I love. So I spent a lot of time in 2022 decluttering, getting rid of things. You guys probably see my house in the background of my vlogs and you're like, sure, Jessie. But really my house, in terms of like a level of clean and like tidiness, it's better than it's ever been on a regular basis. Like we've got some good routines. I really spent this year understanding my limitations and asking for a lot of help. So my family has been super helpful, as I mentioned earlier. And that's been a big help with that. So no, we're nowhere near having like a clean, clutter-free home all the time. But it's better than it was. So I say we get like a check mark in that area. Strengthen my relationships and build new ones. No comment. Didn't exactly make any new friends this year. I don't know how to make friends as an adult. I just don't. I'm very shy. I'm very quiet in real life. I don't know how to build relationships with people. In terms of strengthening the ones I already had, I feel like I've gotten a lot closer with my sister Kelly this year, which is really great. I need to work on continuing to maintain that. So, a little bit of progress there. And then grow and strengthen my small business. I feel like I kind of tanked my YouTube channel this year with the inconsistent posting and, the algorithm. I always like to say the algorithm hates me. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how to grow my channel. So I've just been like focusing on posting when I can and what I want to, and not really stressing about the numbers so much. I feel like that's better for my mental health. So I don't know where I fall on that. But in terms of my goals, I'd say it's like, I don't know. Did I fail? I don't know. I made progress, but definitely feel like I wanted to be further along in all of these things. And a lot of these things are things I need to continue working on in 2023. None of the goals that I set were exactly things that like I could just check off the list as complete at the end of the year. They were all going to be things that I knew I was going to have to continue with. But I feel like I made some progress, but not as much as I wanted to overall. If you're not familiar with this book that I'm looking in and showing you guys, it's the Goal Planner from Cultivate What Matters. I was really excited about using this in the year. I loved the concept of it. The idea being that you set overarching yearly goals, but then you break them down month to month and choose action steps to help you complete those goals. I really, really like that concept. I'm going to be doing something similar for the new year, just not using this book. I didn't want to purchase another book just to not use it, because that's what I do. So I'm just going to kind of work in a notebook and do it on my own, set some yearly goals, and then kind of break them down month to month on the action steps I want to take to meet those goals. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
This is not a Christmas
halfway through a little course that I found on YouTube for diet and lifestyle with people with sarcoidosis. I'm finding it pretty interesting so far. I've been doing a lot of thinking about diet and lifestyle and exercise. You know, we're in that new year, new life mode. And I think my plan, and it's just a loosely formed plan, I'm just kind of talking through it with you guys as I come up with it, is to spend the next couple of weeks eating down our pantry, eating the things we have in our fridge and freezer. We have a lot of food, and I don't want it to go to waste. So really focusing on meal planning and prepping around what we have, which we should be doing anyway, for our budget and for, you know, life. Why are we jamming our cabinets full of stuff and not eating it? Obviously, some people do that for, you know, being prepared. That's fine. Nothing against that, but I don't have space for that. I don't have money for that, so I need to focus on eating what I have. A lot of it's not so healthy. You guys know we eat a lot of processed foods. We eat a lot of convenience things, and that's fine. Sometimes you got to do that, but what I'm learning is I'm really going to have to focus on whole foods, healthy foods, and if I have this stuff in my house, I'm not going to make the healthy choice. So I think we're always going to have some convenience items on hand just for those busy nights, but I really want the majority of my meals in the new year to be, you know, whole, healthy foods. It's going to be hard for me to spend that time cooking with my bad back, but I need to make it a priority. So I think we're going to eat down what we have so that we can then focus in the new year. Whole healthy foods, you know, not so much red meat, not so much processed stuff. My boys are not going to be happy, but it's a change we all need to make. Honestly, my husband's health hasn't been like the greatest either. He was diagnosed with high cholesterol this year. So we could all stand to lose some weight and eat healthier. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's worthwhile work. So that's the plan. We're gonna, I keep looking up into this cabinet. You guys are actually sitting in my pantry cabinet, one of them, with all of the food, and it's jam-packed full. Like, we brought groceries home this week and we couldn't even fit it in the cabinet because the cabinet's so full. So that is my sign to eat this stuff, try to plan our meals around all of this stuff we have, and then it'll probably take a couple of weeks to get through it. So right for the start of the new year, we will focus on healthier stuff. If you guys have recommendations for foods I should be eating, recommendations for recipes, I'd love to hear them. I'm not the world's biggest fan of chicken. I'm not the world's biggest fan of fish, at least not eating it in a healthy way. I can eat it fried, but that's not gonna do great for me. So I'm gonna have to learn to like some things that aren't my favorite, but I'm not super picky. So yeah, it's definitely time to make major changes in my diet and in my lifestyle. And my family's coming along for the ride, whether they like it or not. But yeah, this is the state of that cabinet you were just sitting in. So we have lots and lots of food here. Some of it healthy, most of it not. And we have to get through this so that we can stock this with healthy stuff. And actually, most of the stuff I think we'll be eating is going to be like whole fresh foods for my fridge. So hopefully not too much prepackaged stuff in my future. We'll always have some of it. We have to be realistic, but I got some changes to make for sure. All right, here is a look at my little lunch. So I've got some cottage cheese with black pepper. I've got an apple that I found in my refrigerator that's a little mealy, but I'm gonna eat it anyway. I've got a couple of these turkey sausage sticks, and then I've got a cheddar cheese strip. So that's gonna be my lunch. I didn't want anything I had to prep or cook because I want to get right back into working on my goals and planners and stuff. So this is lunch for today. And I say lunch, but really that's my first meal of the day. The only other thing I've had today is that coffee and lots of water. Since I got my cup, I have been drinking a ton of water, which I'm very proud of myself for. And actually, this needs a refill, so I'm gonna go do that too. Alright, well it's the end of the evening now. I pretty much just spent all day working on what I was working on earlier, what I was showing you guys, brainstorming, goal setting, that sort of thing. And there wasn't really much else to talk about or chit-chat about. So it's about 8:30 and I'm getting ready to wind down, start my evening routine, you know, that sort of thing. But I realized I forgot to do the other advent calendars, so we're going to start with Sugarfina first, and we're doing this fun gold door here with the little grandma on it. Day 14. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got some more little malted milk ball type things, I guess. I'll have to take a look and see what those are. And my camera battery's flashing, so let's try to get through this really, really quick. For the tea today, which I'm probably not going to drink unless it's something decaf, 14 right here. We have Jelly Donut, another new one. You guys, I might have to eat my words. I kept saying there was nothing new, but these last like 3 in a row have been new to me, I think. Well, except chamomile. So I'm really excited to try this. I'll put the infographic up to tell you what this is about. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.